All right, let's dive into artificial intelligence. If you've ever felt like AI is this gigantic, super complicated thing, well, you're not wrong, but you're definitely not alone. The goal here is to give you a clear and simple roadmap. We're going to walk through the highlights of a full 15-chapter tutorial, breaking down what AI is, how we're using it every day, and some of the really big questions we all need to be thinking about. So let's get into it. Okay, first things first, we've got a quick but really important disclaimer to cover. This tutorial from Virtualization Options LLC offers general information on artificial intelligence. The information is based on sources deemed reliable as of October 2025 and is provided without any warranty, expressed or implied. Now, there's this funny thing in psychology called the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's basically when we learn a little bit about something and suddenly think we're an expert. And with a topic as huge and fast-moving as AI, that's a really easy trap to fall into. So just remember, this is an introduction. It's just the start of what is truly a lifelong journey in learning about this stuff. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to lay the groundwork with the fundamentals of AI. Then, we'll see how that connects to the real world by looking at the AI tools you're probably already using. After that, we'll zoom out and look at the huge impact AI is having on society. And finally, we'll get into the tough ethical questions and talk about the role that you, me, all of us play in what comes next. Let's kick things off with part one, the AI fundamentals. We're going to cover the key ideas from the first 4 chapters of the tutorial, really just to get a handle on what AI is and, how it actually works. So, what are we even talking about when we say artificial intelligence? At its core, it's all about building computer systems that can do things that usually require a human brain. Stuff like recognizing a face in a photo, understanding what you're saying, or making a decision. Now, this idea has actually been around since the 1950s, but it's only recently, with all this incredible computing power, that AI has really exploded into our daily lives. Every time you ask Siri a question or Netflix suggests a movie, yep, that's AI. And that brings us to a really, really important distinction we have to make. Every single piece of AI that exists today is what we call narrow AI. It's designed to do one specific thing, and it can be amazing at it, like filtering your spam folder or becoming a grandmaster at chess. But the idea of a general AI, like the conscious, problem-solving robots you see in movies, that is still 100% science fiction. So remember that. Today's AI is just a very powerful, specialized tool. It's not a thinking, feeling being. So how does an AI even learn in the first place? Well, the most popular method is a process called machine learning. Instead of a programmer having to write down millions of rules, the system learns from examples. It's kind of like teaching a toddler what a cat is by showing them thousands of pictures of cats. You gather up a ton of data, you clean it up, and you use it to train an AI model. Then you test it out, and if it's any good, you release it into the wild. And the most important ingredient in this whole recipe, it's the data. The better the data you feed it, the smarter it gets. Now, inside machine learning, there's this incredibly powerful technique that's behind almost all the big AI breakthroughs you hear about. It's called deep learning. Think of this as the secret sauce. It uses something called neural networks, which are, they're loosely inspired by the way neurons are connected in our own brains. These networks have all these layers that let the AI find super complex patterns in data. And that is exactly what lets your phone unlock with your face or lets Alexa understand your commands. Okay, we've got the basics down, so let's move on to part 2, the AI we use. This is where we'll look at the specific AI tools that are already weaving themselves into our daily lives, pulling from chapters 5 through 8 of the tutorial. So if you've ever used a chatbot or seen your phone try to finish your sentences for you, you've interacted with a language model. Basically, it's an AI that has been fed a giant library of pretty much the entire internet, all the books, all the websites, to learn the patterns of how we talk and write. Its main job is actually pretty simple: predict the next word. But by doing that over and over, it can hold a conversation or write an entire article.
And language models are just one piece of a much bigger puzzle called generative AI. This is where things get really wild. This is AI that doesn't just analyze stuff, it actually creates brand new things. You've got text generators like ChatGPT that can write a poem for you. You've got image generators like DALL-E that can create a picture of anything you can imagine. And now we're seeing tools that can generate original music and even video clips. It's a lot.
Okay, now let's talk about AI agents. An agent is a little different. It's not just sitting there waiting for you to ask it something, it's proactive. It can actually take actions on its own to get a job done. The perfect, simple example is your robot vacuum. It maps out your house, it cleans the floors, and it goes back to its dock to recharge. all without you micromanaging every single move. But, and this is a huge but, there is a massive catch with these systems, especially the language ones. It's a problem called hallucination. This is when the AI just makes things up. It will invent facts, it will cite books that don't exist, and it will state things that are completely false with all the confidence in the world. So the most important rule here is you have to double-check any important information you get from an AI. Don't just trust it blindly. Knowing about the tools is one thing, but where are they actually showing up? That brings us to part 3, AI's real-world impact. We're going to look at where AI is being used right now based on chapters 9 to 11. In the business world, AI is everywhere. It's running customer service chatbots, it's making supply chains more efficient, and it's personalizing ads. A fantastic example is in banking. AI algorithms sift through millions of credit card transactions every second, looking for patterns of fraud that no human team could ever hope to spot. In our schools, AI is a classic double-edged sword. On the one hand, you have these incredible personalized tutors that can adapt to every single student's learning style. That's amazing. But on the other hand, there's a real concern. If students start relying on AI to do all their thinking for them, are we going to weaken their own ability to solve problems? It's a tricky balance, for sure. Now, in the world of science, AI is a complete game changer. It's helping scientists discover new medicines by analyzing millions of molecular structures. It's building more accurate models of climate change. It's poring over telescope data to find distant planets. It's basically a super-powered research assistant that can see patterns humans would miss. And this brings us to the really tough part. Welcome to part 4, AI's big questions. Because when you have technology this powerful, you are forced to grapple with some massive ethical and societal problems. This section touches on the heavy debates from chapters 12 to 15. A huge issue for governments right now is something called sovereign AI. Basically, countries are realizing that if they have to depend on another nation's technology for something as important as AI, that could make them really vulnerable. So you're seeing a global race where everyone is trying to build their own AI systems to protect their economy, their national security, and of course, their citizens' data. And here's one of the biggest tug-of-wars in the entire AI conversation: surveillance. On one side, AI-powered cameras and systems can absolutely help police prevent crime and respond to emergencies faster. They could save lives. But on the other side, the potential for constant mass surveillance is terrifying. It threatens our basic right to privacy and could easily lead to discrimination. Finding the right line between safety and freedom here is one of the hardest things we have to do. And if you want a real-world example of where this could go, look at the concept of social credit scores. These systems use AI to watch and rate people based on their behavior. And if your score drops too low, you could be blocked from getting a loan or even from buying a train ticket. This raises some profound and, frankly, scary questions about fairness and freedom. So, after all that, where does this leave you and me? Let's wrap it all up with our final part: your role in AI's future. What are the most important things to remember, and how do we move forward? If you only remember a few things from our entire conversation, make it these. 1. AI is a tool, just like a hammer. It's not magic. 2. Data is the fuel that makes the AI engine run. 3. It's not some future thing. It's already here, all around us. 4. You have to think critically. Never, ever blindly trust what an AI tells you. 5. The ethics of this are not an afterthought. They are absolutely central. And finally, number 6, this field is moving at lightning speed, so we all have to commit to being lifelong learners. So I'll leave you with this final thought. AI isn't some force of nature that's just happening to us. It's a technology that is being built by people. It reflects our values, our biases, and our choices. The future that AI helps create isn't written in stone. It really depends on the questions we ask, the standards we demand, and the kind of world that we, all of us, decide we want to build with it.